So, my lovely friends, thanks for being here and tuning in. You are live with me here on this podcast, on this conversation. I'm your show host, Susanna Medium, and you are tuning into the Let's Talk Spirit podcast today on Tuesday, the 18th of July, 2023. Now, I just finished, as Tuesday, I just finished my 97th show on the Ask1Radio Network, Ivana Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. And then interestingly, I wanted to talk about intention, how we can work with our intention, why it is important to have an invention. Well, invention is important, but intention for a day, for an hour, for a task, for a duty, for a lifetime, for a period of time. You see, we can think about all different time zones and time scales, but by all means, intention, setting an intention, working with that, sticking with it is important in our lives. But then you see, interestingly, our producer, Mr. Dave Solomon, our producer, he sets me a musical task just before I come to live on that show, on that network there, and it really rocks my boat because he's giving me a task of think about this song, think about that music, name a song, dance, and all those things. So it really makes me giggle, laugh, and quite funny. It's not freezing. It's not stopping me to start the show because, we do the conversation. But then there is that lovely conversation chat going on before the show. But you see, interestingly, when I wanted to talk about intention, the whole intention was kicked out of the window because I started talking about music one more time. Once again, talking about music. And really the conversation was about, yes, and this is, my lovely friends, this is the most important thing here, that we can set the intention to any time zone, time scale, period of time, whichever way we want to measure time. We can set intention, but something can always come into our space and we are off the track and we are not able to follow our intention. Like I said, my intention to talk about intention in that show. So it's quite funnily turned out to be quite an interesting show. And nonetheless, no psychic or mediumistic or any of those conversations, but really a life lesson that whichever way we have been living our life, like, some people are really organized, like structure. They know from the very moment they wake up until they go to bed, that moment they know very well what they are doing, why they are doing. Their life is structured, organized. They live in a very neat home. Their life is all very neat. Their fridge is very neat. Their car is very clean. And their children are all combed with their hair and all those things. Everything is all very organized. And then once they set the intention, they stick with that and complete the tasks. And then they always know what the outcome is of their, not just the actions, but then the intention. So that is one way of being, if you like that. But then you see the other end of the stick. On the other hand, there are people like myself, we like being a very eclectic lifestyle. Yes, we have intention for various things, but then it goes out once we are inspired to have something else, and we are off the track and we are living in a different reality altogether. And I'm not saying, this is good and this is bad, because we need to recognize how differently we live our lives and how important to have that duality. Nobody can be the same as the other person. We would be very bored altogether. Our lives would be very boring. But then just consider whether you are a person who sets the intention, sticks with it, and runs your life according to the intention you set for the hour, for the task, for the morning, for the day, for the week, and so on and so on. Or you are a very eclectic person where you set the task, set the intention, create your task schedule, and so on, but then something else comes up, and then everything goes out of the window, and you need to adjust yourself. You need to be flexible, and then not just adjusting, because that's quite a big word here, but then also so I should say actually playful, spontaneous, flexible, in awe of the new situation coming to you. I don't like using that, don't be fearful and don't be all those things, so not the negative things, but having that calm presence, having the grace, having that breathing space within yourself, knowing yourself to that point that when something like this happens, then you are able to adjust yourself in the split second. Life is not stopping, you are not panicking, you are not running away, you are not fighting, you are not freezing, the usual ways how we adjust ourselves or how we respond to situations in life. But then we are taking a breath and acknowledging that that is coming onto our timeline in that very split second. And then even if we have set the intention, now what are we going to do? So we cannot continue because that thing came onto our timeline. So it means that we need to adjust ourselves. We need to approach the situation differently. Now, if we haven't figured this one out up to this point in our life, then we are freezing, fighting, and flying. We are just running away. Most certainly, freezing. That's physically. We don't breathe. We don't know what to do, or panic, or really feeling ourselves as a excuse me, or feeling ourselves as a victim of our situation. So if this is your way of being, or this is your experience, then the invitation is work on your awareness that you need to know, and then you know that there is a different way of coping with a situation when something like this comes up. But if you have already figured out, like myself, or if you already figured this out, after having been for the whole life, somebody who runs away, who feels like a victim, somebody who freezes in the situation, blames everybody, feeling very ashamed, feeling going into the hiding space, not knowing what to do and how to sort things out. And then once you got the awareness, you figure this one out, and now you are able to adjust and adapt yourself and adjust to the new moment, the new situation, the new question, the new query, the new breathing space, the new reality, the new energy in a split second. You are not stopping. And then you know that you have figured things out in the past. You worked your way through of being a person who freezes, who runs away, who's in denial, and those things. You figure this one out, and then now you are able to respond to things in a very different way. And then, to be honest, in 2023, as a way how I speak to you right now, maybe that is what we really need to embrace. How flexible we are, how much spontaneity we can bring, or we need to bring. My goodness me, we need to bring it to our lives and into our reality, so that whatever comes up on our timeline, then we are able to respond, react, or not even respond, not to react, but then just acknowledge that that is what is coming to us, that is what is happening. We know that being fearful, panicking, being in denial, blaming others, being in a victim space, we figured out that any of those or none of those will help us or give us the solution, and then all those things would just make our situation even worse. So why would we choose that experience one more time? Why would you choose that? So, once you figure this one out, then when the new reality, new dimension, new conversation, new energy, new situation abruptly, just pushes pushes ourselves out of our track, then you know that, I'm able to respond to it differently. And then this is what you are going to do. Very good idea is to be playful, spontaneous, just look at the situation. It's not a problem, it's not a challenge, it's a opportunity. How I'm going to solve it, how can I go through that, what can I make it work? I'm curious what talents, what abilities, what energy, what solutions I have, what energy, how I'm made up. And then knowing that these situations come to you in the very moment, because you are able to hold a frequency, you are able to manage it, you are able to sort it out, and you are able to be with it, and your life is not going to stop. And even if it brings different like a different energy, shift of energy, turn and twist, and maybe you need to change your life altogether. Maybe something, something big can come to your life, but then you know that you are not going to die, your life continues. And then you also know, because you have figured that one out by now, you have that awareness that whatever I'm experiencing in my current moment, it is there for me to learn from it, and I am getting it because I either haven't figured this one out, or B, I have figured this one out, but I still have the next level of that working or learning. So have that playful, spontaneous, courageous, curious, inspired, fully living that situation, whether it is a good or a bad situation, whichever label you want to give to it. But then, once we are able to look at the situation and say that, okay, it is as it is, without any label, without saying it's good or bad, or any of the shades of those labels, but then we are able to take it that it is as it is, and now let's see where I am going from there, how I am going to be able to sort it out, what solutions I'm able to find, how creative, how insightful, how intuitive, how empowered, how spontaneous, how flexible, how courageous, how creative, how imaginative person I am. And then from that you take your step. And then this is how you create a new intention. So it's quite interesting. We thought the intention, I need to set the intention and take action. But then the intention also means that something is happening. I am adjusting myself to the new situation because I am curious about my own talents and own skills and own energy and own resourcefulness and creative energy and all those things. I mean, just notice how much we are using the high powered, very strong, high frequency, high vibrational words to describe the situation, even if it's something you said, or you would have said it's bad or good or bad, all those things. But then we are using those words, and then you move with the flow. And then in that sense, even if you don't think about setting a new intention, you are already setting a new intention energetically. And then in that sense, maybe we can think of another word. The intention was the original one. I want to get from point A to B. I need to be structured. I need to have a plan, and I need to stick with the plan. And now it is the other side of the coin, the other type of energy where where that's not happening. We are not going that way. We are not just need to be, but we are playful, resourceful, creative, going with the flow, spontaneous, intuitive, all those things. And I tell you what, that is actually another thing, that in that space the solution comes. The solution comes unexpectedly behind you, ahead of you. You see the sign, you notice something, you hear something, or you are just breathing quietly because you have taken a step back and you just acknowledge a space. And while you are just acknowledging the space and the new situation, and without panicking, all those things, because it's already behind us, then the answer comes to you, to your heart. Maybe you hear it, you see it, you notice it, you breathe it, you sense it. Okay, so, and in that sense, life is setting a new intention for you. But then I really feel that at this point we could use a different word for that. Not because otherwise we would think about the same thing or the intention as we had at the beginning of the conversation, when it is coming from a different space. So let me know how it resonates with you. I had the intention to talk about something. The intention was to talk about setting an intention and the importance of intention in our lives, and something has happened. Namely, our producer gave me another task I could not think about, but then my show was about something. I don't know what the show was about. Go back and listen to it. But it was about something else. It all worked out. It was fun, and it was quick energy, and it was spontaneous because, I have figured out that being very stuck and fearful and freezing, we cannot do things like that, especially if you are talking to the audience, talking to you on that platform through just a radio channel. So we can't have the silence because the speaker is just freezing, not knowing what to do, you know. So here we go. Interesting conversation. So I thought that was quite important, you know. I'm just sharing it in case it is insightful for you as well. Let me know. Feel free to send an email to hello@susannamedium.com. And Susanna, you know this very well. It's always 9 letters, ZSUZSANNA, medium.com. So it's hello@susannamedium.com. And then you can find my information on my website, www.susannamedium.com. Strangely enough, it's the same. And then if you go to any social media platform, you can find my work or little chit-chats, little posts, little conversations here and there. Always Susanna Medium. And just not like a warning, I don't want to use that word, but then just give you the little tip here. If somebody is contacting you using my picture, my post, my name, and asking, offering readings, asking money, asking anything, or doing spells and those kind of things, you need to know it's not me, because I would never, ever, ever do that. Those people who are doing those things, they have the intention to do something else, namely to cause some harm and to get your money and not deliver quality work. So they are not professional people, not professional services, and by all means you need to be very alert. Don't be gullible and naive. And even if you feel, you know, sometimes you feel a little bit in need of support, we would feel that, oh, the real person is reaching out, then you need to know it's not the real person. And you need to know it's not just my conversation, but other psychics, mediums, light workers, healers, all these people, artists, just or not politicians, I don't talk about that, but business people, anywhere where there is a group of people who are following and engaging in the work, that is there very sadly everywhere. So if you receive anything from that other me, which is not me, you need to know that it is not me, okay? Because I would not do that. You get in touch if you would like to do something, if you ask a question, if you would like to book a reading, a consultation, a coaching, you would like to be on my membership program, which is right now is on Patreon, patreon.com/Susanna Medium, although I am going to move it to another platform. But if you are interested, you can still go over there. It's £5, £5 or £6 as we speak monthly. And right now it is a bit quieter. But if you are interested being in that group, come on board. Send me an email also, hello@susannamedium.com. Set the intention that you want to work with me, you would like to have a question, and so on and so on. And the readings, what we do it on Zoom. I record it. You are able to watch it, listen to that recording. I work very quickly, directly, without the use of cards or anything, although I am very much interested in historical inquiries, meaning all the objects belonging to your family and old buildings and so on. And so the historical inquiries are there as well. So here we go. Set the intention. If it resonates with you, come back and watch and tune in to all the other conversations I have. And if you are listening to this conversation on my podcast on Podbean, please or feel free to check out all the other conversations, follow the pages, and follow all the pages where you see me, like the real me, okay? Also on YouTube, it's always Susanna Medium, ZSUZSANNA Medium. You can find me there, available for readings, public work, public talks, conversations, platform works, workshops, training, Reiki initiation, Reiki healing sessions, and just really, if you want to be on board with what I'm doing or what I'm bringing forward, some really new ideas came to me even this morning about how I would like to work with the audience in real time on the platform or from the platform or sharing the platform with you. So just check out that if you are interested in that work. Feel free to send me an email, be on my mailing list, and so on and so on. Everything is on my website, www.susannamedium.com. So here we go. We got here, that's the intention. So I really hope you enjoyed this conversation. Come back for another chat, live readings, and so on and so on. And sending you lots of love, many, many blessings. And by all means, the invitation, a couple of days ago, I recorded something available on my YouTube right now about the change. Yes, the weekly energy. That was the weekly energy reading, energy forecast for the week beginning on the 17th of July, going until the 23rd of July. It's quite interesting. The energy, spirit consciousness was talking about how much we are in the middle of something energetically. So go there and check that out. And please like, share, and follow the page and invite other people who might benefit from this work. Here we go. So thanks for being here. The intention, interesting conversation. Intention, yes, we need to have the intention, but then we need to find a balance, not to get stuck with our conversation situations, our framework, our structures, and so on, or the people around us, situations around us, but then at the same time having the playfulness, the curiosity, the intuitive energy, and then moving forward. By all means, those of us will benefit from the work we invested in to our own development, intuitive, human, really, the consciousness, the development, awareness, the development, and it's going to come back with solutions for us, because we are able to tune into that level of energy, have that awareness. So we are not panicking, but we are able to step back and just acknowledge the situation and then reframe the whole situation, having different questions, different point of view. And then in that sense, we are able to fly above everything. The card which came out for this week as a card, I brought one card, was the eagle, fly above. Raise yourself above, rise above that situation. So here we go. My lovely listener, thanks for being here, and speak to you very, very soon. Bye for now. Thanks. Bye.